Hey everybody. Well, today I am going to be talking about a keratin treatment that I use on myself. And I have used it on other clients. One thing is, I am going to tell you right now, sometimes I do not follow the directions 100%. So, disclaimer, I am not telling you to not follow the directions. I'm just telling you what I've done for myself and how it works out for me. I will say what you should do is do exactly what the directions on the bottle says for any manufacturer. If you decide not to, you are liable, not I, because you've heard me do something different. Okay, again, just because I say I do it doesn't mean you should do it. And for those of you that are going to sit there and say, you should do what they say on the bottle and blah, 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 and you're doing it wrong and you're putting these videos out and telling people, I don't really give a shit what you think. I am just sharing what I have learned about doing certain keratin treatments on myself. I do them on myself before I even try it on a client, and most of the time I don't even do what I do to myself on a client. Okay? So anyways, I actually have natural curly hair. As I've gotten older and as my hair has gotten grayer, the curl has relaxed a bit. But now that I no longer live in California, in Los Angeles, where humidity is very low, and I live in the South, in Georgia, where humidity sucks ass, I have learned that if I want to wear my hair nice, straight, and smooth, I have to do a keratin treatment. Also, one thing is I also ride a motorcycle, so I wear a helmet a lot. When I sleep, I have to put my hair on my head, up on top of my head. If I don't, I look like I slaughtered somebody, or I wake up like, and it's not cute. So I can't do those keratin treatments or straightening treatments to where you can't have anything in your hair. Like you can't put your hair back in a ponytail, you can't put a clip in, blah, blah, blah. I can't do those. No. So the first keratin treatment I tried was the keratin complex, which love. I love their stuff. The problem is I didn't have the supplier out here for it, and where I was working at the time, we didn't do straightening treatments or any of that crap. So I had like a little bottle of their Express keratin, which the Express is literally you can wash your hair in 8 hours. You don't have to wait 72 hours to put it in a ponytail or clips or wear a hat or any of that. And like I said, you can wash it in 8 hours. I wash my hair maybe once a week, twice once it gets hot, and my hair gets nasty. So anyways, the keratin complex, I love, love, love their Express. Love it. So I had some in a little sample bottle, and I used it a couple times. And that one is you wash your hair with a clarifying shampoo a couple times, you don't condition it, and you put the treatment in. You divide the areas, you brush, use a color brush, and you apply it, and you comb it through with a fine tooth comb. You don't want to saturate the hair. And then you blow it out, and then you flat iron it, and you go about your merry way. Loved it. Didn't feel like it left my hair super greasy afterwards or anything like that. It was really good. It was my favorite. Well, I ran out, and I decided I was going to go in search of, without having to go through a distributor. And yeah, you can find it, on eBay, Amazon, blah, blah, blah. And sometimes you're wondering, like, is it bootleg? Is it good? Is it old? Whatever. But anyways, I actually decided to try a couple different ones that I saw on myself and see how they worked out. Because the keratin complex isn't cheap. So I was on a budget at that time. So I found a different one. And it's called Keratin Research. So I read some reviews on it. I read some stuff that people were saying about it. And it's the Express no weight formula. So that was important because a lot of things I was finding were 72 hours, you can't do crap to your hair. I was like, screw that. So I can't remember where I got this, to tell you the truth. I may have got it off of eBay. I know. I don't want to hear anybody. But anyways, it was cheap. It was like 24 bucks or something like that. So this basically almost says the exact same thing as the keratin complex. The only difference is it says you should wash it out the next day. I don't know if you have to. Now that I think about it, let me see. It just says wait overnight and wash your hair. That's it. So, oh, it does say people with very curly hair may not wash hair for 3 days. Yeah, it says like, I guess you can, 3 days. You can, it says up to 3 days, don't wash. There's no harm. So that's good. All right. Because when I read that you should wash it the day after, I was like, oh, hell no. I just spent a couple hours putting this stuff in, blowing it out, flat ironing it. The last thing I want to do is frickin' wash my hair right afterwards and have to go through the blowing out and flat ironing. It doesn't take too long, but I just don't want to deal with it. So, the pros and cons of this. You need to be in a ventilated area. It is a lot thicker than the keratin complex, which I felt like I didn't have to use as much as the keratin complex for my hair length. I don't completely go crazy in the saturation. I do mine, I comb. I may like hit the ends a little more, when I do it to myself, if I don't have a fan on and there's not good ventilation, my eyes will burn. Same thing with when I'm getting ready to blow it out. So basically you apply it to the hair, you then blow out the hair, and then you flat iron the hair. And as I said, you can either wash it out the day after or wait 3 days. One thing I don't do, and I didn't do this with the keratin complex either. As you can see, I use vivid colors in my hair. So a lot of times they say, color your hair before you do the keratin, or do the keratin and then wait like 3 days, or do the keratin and then color your hair and wait a couple days. Well, I have found for myself what works out the best is I color my hair, I wait about 3 days, and then I do the keratin. Now, when I do the keratin, when I flat iron it, it kind of makes my red a deeper red, but the moment that I wash it, it gets brighter. Anytime that I have done it beforehand and did my color, it just didn't come out as well. I don't know why. It just didn't work as well for me personally. One thing I will say, if you do keratin treatments, Brazilian blowouts, straightening treatments to where you have to seal that in the hair with heat, and you want to go in and you want to try to, decolorize that hair, it's going to be a lot harder because you have just chemically bonded that color into the hair. So say I wanted to get rid of this red and go blonde and or do a different vivid, it's going to be a bitch trying to get this red out. So I'm not saying it can't happen, but it's going to be pretty difficult because I have just, especially if you've been doing keratin treatments, I do them, I try to do it after every time I color my hair, and I color my hair about every 4 to 6 weeks. Although this, I was able to go 2 cycles of hair color and only do this once. So basically, I used this the first time. I colored my hair. The next time I colored my hair, I waited for the 3 days, but I noticed my hair was doing great. So I didn't do it again. So I actually got like 12 weeks out of one application on my hair. Another thing that I don't do because I have the Vivid is I don't clarify my hair. If I were to wash my hair 2 to 3 times with clarifying shampoo, and I get why they want you to do that, because they want you to open up the cuticle, which will sock in the product better. If I were to do that, holy crap, my hair color would be ruined. And no. So that is what I do not do. If somebody with vivid colored hair wanted a keratin treatment, I would tell them the same thing what I do with my hair. Also, how I look at it with the Express, sometimes, like I said, you're doing it every time you get ready to color your hair. So if the whole thing is like, well, it's not going to work as good. Well, if you're coloring your hair every 4 to 6 weeks, I don't need it to last forever and ever. Like I said, that one, I didn't even clarify shampoo my hair, and it lasted 12 weeks. So I was really happy about that. One thing is, I will say, it is heavier on the hair than like the keratin complex was. And the first week I probably waited 3 to 4 days to wash my hair, and I was like, I don't like this as well. I like the keratin complex. Oh man, right after I washed my hair, that stuff was the bomb. So it was basically just getting that initial, film off the hair after the first time you do it. But yeah, I was really happy with it. Like I said, the pros to me are it lasted a lot longer than the keratin complex, and then I have another one I'm going to review really quick after this one. And it's lasted a lot longer than the new Pervana Perfection, and it's an express smooth out solution too. I'm going to talk about that in just a little bit, but I'm going to tell you my pros and cons. So it lasted longer. It was not that expensive, but the cons, wow, it is pretty hardcore strong when you're using it. So you need to definitely have ventilation. It even says wear a mask. This kind of reminded me of the whole damn Brazilian blowout bullshit. A girl did that in a place I was working at in LA one time, and we almost all died. But it only really bothered me when I was blowing out my hair, and a couple times when I was applying it around my face, and I was just kind of like this, and it was okay, but the blowout was probably the worst. So be careful with clients. And yeah, my hair seems great after I used it. I didn't see anything. If anything, it kind of, if I had split ends, it helped seal them up and stuff like that. Yeah, price good, lasting great, especially since I didn't do the clarifying shampoo. Really impressed on that. just the toxicity of it can be pretty, well, as I said, I am putting this as a disclaimer. Just because I do things a certain way and I don't exactly go by the book on stuff doesn't mean you shouldn't. And you can't say, well, she did it and it worked for her. No, no, that's on you. If you decide not to follow the directions perfectly as the manufacturer states, that's on you, not me. I'm just saying my experience. All right, enough about that one. So the Pravana Perfection Smooth Out Solution. This one, it's a lot more watery than the Keratin Research. Let me see. I think it's kind of the same as more of the Keratin Complex. No, it's still creamy, but it's a little more waterier. So this one, again, I didn't do the clarifying shampoo on my hair because I can't do it. It's just gonna ruin my color. I used it. I did do what they said, and if I'm not mistaken, it doesn't say it on the thing, but it says wash afterwards. I didn't wash that day. Or no, I'm sorry, I did it. I did. I rinsed. I didn't really put shampoo. Maybe I put light shampoo through my hair and washed it. It didn't last as long. The only thing I didn't do with that one by going through the directions is do the clarifying shampoo. Didn't last as long for me. Like in 3 weeks, I really felt like my hair kind of fuzzed more. So it still was better than not having it. I didn't even feel like when I first did it, it was as smooth as the Keratin Research or the Keratin Complex. So I did use it on a client, a guy who wanted to make the top of his hair less curly, more kind of wavy, and I went straight by the book with it. And it was funny because when I flat ironed his hair, it was so straight, he was freaking out. But the moment that we shampooed it, he got more of that wave. He got more of the wave, and he liked it. So I think it's a good thing, especially to use on guys if you want to change direction of the way their hair grows, or relax a curl and make it more of a wave or anything like that. It was okay. For me, I didn't like it as much. I like something that has a little more oomph because my hair just gets too frizzy. But that one, yeah, I did kind of go by the book with him, clarified his head, put it in, applied it exactly as they said, shampooed it with sulfate-free shampoo. That's another thing with all these types of straightening products, you need to use sulfate-free. I don't typically use the brands. I just use what I use for my color and so on and so forth. I'm a big Redken fan or Joico fan when it comes to sulfate-free shampoo. So anyways, that's my experience. Like I said, my favorite is the Keratin Complex. It's just a little pricey. And my second favorite is the Keratin Research. I just did it today, and it's the second time I've used it, so it might turn into my favorite. I'm not sure. Anyways, I just wanted to share my experience. If any of you have products that you've used for straightening, and especially like a keratin treatment that's an express, please share it with me, and I would love to try it. And then I could tell you what I think. Again, just because I do things a certain way and I don't go by the directions 100% does not mean I am telling you to do the same. If you decide to do that, that is on you, not me. All right, people? Have a great day. Look for some more reviews of products from me. And I am soon going to be talking about my non-compete drama. Peace.